A prince was very good and kind-hearted. His subjects were very pleased with him. The prince did not want to marry. One day, one of his ministers got fed up and said, "My lord, if you want to be our king, you will have to get married." "If that is your pleasure," said the prince, "I agree. But I will marry a girl who can throw an apple from 100 feet and knock my crown off." A few days later, the ministers gathered all the beautiful girls in the palace. Each girl had an apple in her hand. The competition began. All the girls held apples in their hands, and alternately they started showering apples on the prince's crown. But none of them could succeed in knocking the prince's crown off his head. At that very moment, a beautiful girl entered with 2 diamond apples in her hands. Her big eyes were bright as stars and her lips were as red as roses. "Shall I too be allowed to participate in this contest?" She went 100 feet away, took aim, and threw the apple. The crown flew off the king's head and fell away. Everyone clapped happily. Seeing this, the prince was completely stunned. The girl suddenly disappeared from there. "Go and find this girl from anywhere. Your Majesty, we have searched the whole kingdom, but nothing could be found about this girl." After 2 or 3 months, once again all the beautiful girls of the state were gathered. The girls threw the apples, but not a single girl managed to knock down the prince's crown. "Can I try my luck?" Meanwhile, the same girl appeared again. She threw an apple made of diamonds. She knocked the crown from the prince's head and disappeared from there. The prince's soldiers looked for her everywhere, but nowhere could she be found. "Did you get any information about that girl?" "Your Majesty, nothing could be found about this girl. Now consider it my stubbornness or desire. I have to marry this girl. Don't worry, Your Majesty. Another tough competition will be held." For the 3rd time also, all the beautiful girls were gathered in the palace. Everyone took turns throwing apples, but no one managed to knock down the prince's crown. Suddenly, once again, the same girl appeared. "Can I try my luck too?" Once again, she struck the diamond apple, knocking down the prince's crown. "Please don't go like that. Tell me your name." The girl did not listen to the prince and disappeared. "Your Majesty, please have your meal. I am not hungry." Now the prince used to be sad, and every morning he would go out to play hunting alone and come back in the evening. Now the prince was always lost in the thought of this girl. One day, when the prince went hunting, so night fell on the way, he saw the dim light of a cottage nearby. He went ahead. 2 ugly girls were standing at the door of the cottage. "Excuse me, miss. I am a traveler and am lost in the forest. May I spend the night here?" If I say, "No, there is no place to stay here. You can leave." "Your Majesty, what are you doing here? Come in." The old woman brought the prince inside. She prepared a clean bed for him. At night, when the prince went to sleep, he heard the old woman talking loudly from the next room. She was getting angry with the girl. In the morning, when the prince was about to leave, he asked the old woman, "Who are you angry with at night?" "I have a stepdaughter. She considers herself very beautiful. At night she was breaking bread, saying that she will feed the old owl because the owl gave her 6 apples in which diamonds are embedded. Please ask this girl to come here. I want to see her. Oh girl, just come here. Hey, you're the one, aren't you? Would you like to marry me?" With great pleasure. Stepmother and sisters got jealous to see this. The very next day, a grand wedding celebration is held in the palace. The prince married the girl, and they both started living happily ever after.